Good morning, everyone. I hope you all are doing great. Many of my students and their friends had requested me to make a video on how to improve concentration in studies. Dear children, this video is a guaranteed solution to every student's problem of concentration. So kindly watch the video till last. Students often complain that after the first half an hour of their studies, their concentration level starts decreasing. Some of them feel sleepy, some even start daydreaming about their future career or partner, and some of them even get deviated by petty pleasures which later become addiction, like smoking or drinking, or even the addiction of your cell phone. See, smartphone is a fantastic gadget, but it should be you who should be controlling the phone and not vice versa. If you cannot leave your phone for even 5 minutes and you keep checking your WhatsApp messages or FB notifications for no reason, beware, you might be having a phone addiction. Well, why I'm talking about all this is because I just want you to relate to these problems of youngsters. You may be in class 10th or 12th or pursuing graduation. Till you are a student, your primary concern is studies, and your biggest problem is that you're not able to sit for it as desired, isn't it? Many of you find studies a torture. So you think there should be no school, no studies, no college, no exams. And some of you who are not that in a torturous condition, they find only one or two subjects interesting. But what about the other subjects which are of lesser interest? You find it tough to handle. Okay, so first let us decide upon one thing. Whether you want to study or not. No? Did I hear right? Okay, so in whatever class you are, then ask yourself, if not studies, then what? Then what? What else you can do if you discontinue studies at this stage? Nothing. It is really scary to answer. You cannot do anything at this stage. And moreover, leaving anything midway makes you an escapist. You gradually develop a habit of running away from things without completing them. Really bad for your personality. So I'm sure no one would appreciate this idea of leaving studies in between. So when we've decided that studies cannot be left, so let us stick to it. Now you would be asking, how? That is the biggest problem. We cannot stick to it because there is no interest in it. This lack of interest makes it difficult for you to concentrate, because anything which is enjoyable does not need any motivation to continue. We can chat with friends for hours, we can watch movies, party all night, or paint or dance. I mean, anything in which we are interested, we can do it for hours without looking at the watch. But what to do when we have no interest in the thing? For that, we need motivation to sit. Now, the distractions come into being. They deviate us from studying. So how to avoid these distractions and how to concentrate? That's the question. My dear kids, Google can provide you thousands of tips for that. Like having proper light in the room where you study, having a good diet which boosts your energy level and keeps you light and active, having short meals every 2 hours, or dividing your syllabus, planning your schedule, following the Pomodoro technique of study. Haven't heard of it? You can Google it. Sitting on a chair table instead of a bed with a blanket on, which makes you feel sleepy after some time. So my point is, what I mean to say is that there is no dearth of tips and suggestions. Google and people are full of it. But it is only up to you whether and what to follow. Similarly, there is so much of motivation around us. It's flowing like water. But all this motivation we get from external sources, our parents and friends, even YouTube videos. They are short-lived motivations, because that is motivation and not inspiration. After 2-3 hours, or say if longer 2-3 days, it fades away. and you again need a dose of it. Actually, this motivation is just like an alarm clock. It can only ring and remind you to wake up. But it is entirely upon your disposal whether to get up from the bed or snooze it up again. Let me ask you a simple question which I often ask all my students, especially those preparing for competitive exams. Why was only Hanumanji able to burn Lanka? Socho? The answer is very simple. Because his tail was on fire. तो बस भैया, जिसकी पूंछ में आग लगी होगी लंका वही फूकेगा. You getting what I mean to say? For strong focus and concentration, you need a motivation which never dies out with time. And for that, you need to be self-motivated. And self-motivation comes from two things. Either you should have a strong reason for it, or you should have a strong deterrent for it. You want to opt for science in class 11, or you need to enter a particular course in a particular college after class 12th, or you need to top your university. You have any reason. You can have any reason to drive you, but only reason can keep you moving. Without reason, it would be very difficult to concentrate. So take a sheet of paper, write down how you see yourself after 5 to 7 years. Paste this sheet on a place or a wall where you can see it daily while studying and make it your reason. You know actor Nawazuddin Siddiqui? He toiled for 12 long years to become what he is today. He even became a watchman for some time to earn his livelihood. Why? Because his reason was strong. He wanted a break in Bollywood. Hima Das had no shoes to run and now has a brand of shoes in her name. Why? Because she had a reason. She wanted to prove herself. Arunima Sinha, India's ace volleyball player, was pushed from a running train by some robbers in 2011 while she was resisting them. As a result, her left leg had to be amputated below the knees. Rod in her right leg, multiple fractures in spinal cord. But this lady, this girl, she had the burning desire not to lose in life and become a winner. She aimed to climb the highest peaks of the world. Imagine, with her amputated legs. She wanted to tell the world that it is difficult to defeat her. And since her reason was strong, she became the world's first female amputee to scale Mount Everest, Mount Kilimanjaro, Mount Elbrus, and on and on and on. The list is endless. She never wanted to live her life as a loser. And this deterrent made her become a winner. And let me share you a beautiful anecdote with you. A young student once asked a sadhu as to what was the mantra to success. The sadhu asked him to meet at the riverbank the following morning. Next day, the student met the sadhu, who took him inside the river and pressed his head hard in water. The student remained silent for some time in water for some seconds, thinking it to be some kind of an exercise of the sadhu. Then he found it difficult to breathe, so he started pushing hard to come out. But the sadhu did not let him. When he was breathless, he pushed with all his might and came out. Panting, he looked at the sadhu in surprise, and the elder man was smiling. Confused, his eyes were asking, why did he do that? The sadhu said, "This is the mantra to succeed, my child. When something becomes as important as breath to you, you cannot afford to have it. You become successful." You got my point, my dear kids? If your reason is strong, you can't lose focus at all. So without wasting your time, without wasting even a single second, ask yourself, what is your reason to study? Do some introspection right now. Find your reason, and also that deterrent, that if you don't succeed, what will you lose? You can lose your pocket money. You can lose the respect of the society. You can lose much. You can get married at a young age, because girls, if not studying, parents prefer them to get married. So find out that deterrent, find out that reason. Only then your focus, your concentration will be endless. You won't need any kind of motivation daily to help you sit for study. That burning desire should come from within. That's all for today. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. God bless.